Hey guys, it's me, the Serious Scissor here, and today I am going to be doing some live PO narration. So yeah, let's check my alt real quick and see how many points I have. I just made this team about 15 minutes ago. Well, it was about, I'd say 3 hours ago, and I just been messing around with it on ladder, and there is my current ranking. I think I may just do a few ladder matches and let you guys see and whatnot. So yeah, let me turn on the 200 variation, and then we just wait. Hopefully it won't take too long. Alright, so let's go all the way up to page 1, and oh, okay, there we go. Let's go back to my alt. That is, let's see the variation on this thing. That's plus 27. So if I were to win, 6 plus 27, wait, let me check. 6 plus 27 is, well, okay, it's 33. No. Oh, I suck at math. We'll just say it's 35. And then I'd be right around there if I were to win. And so, well, let's see here. This team consists of Skarmory, Metagross, Infernape, Landorus, Flygon, and Rotom. Possible Tweet Scarfers are Landorus, Flygon, or Rotom Wash. And here I'm going to expect him to lead off with his Metagross, since it can set up the rocks. But he actually leads with his own Rotom here. And since I'm Choice Scarf, I know I can outspeed. And I'll go right into Ferrothorn, as he shows me that he is not the Scarf set, but he's actually the bulkier set. So here I'm gonna go for the Leech Seed so I can get a little health back from the Will-O-Wisp, as he decides to go out into his Flygon. Here I'm gonna Protect since Fire Blast is pretty common, and he does have that. And here I think he's Choice Scarf because I don't see any leftovers, but he might be Life Orbed. And I haven't ever seen an Expert Belt Flygon, so he actually is Life Orbed. But he does miss the Draco Meteor, which pretty unfortunate. I'm gonna go for the Scald since it hits almost all of his team for neutral, apart from the Rotom Wash. Excuse me, I have a stuffy nose. But so, I'm gonna Scald, and even if he does go into Rotom Wash, then he would get burned, but well, he'd have a chance to get burned, but he actually doesn't. He stays in and fires off another Draco Meteor, and I go for the Scald, and it kills him. So, let's see what he decides to go into. He goes to Infernape. I'm going to Protect and scout out what he wants to do. And he decides to go for the Thunder Punch, and I'll go out into my Latios, who resists that very nicely. And yeah, let's see here. Looking at the rest of his team, the Landorus is probably the Scarfer. And if it is, then I'll have Latios who can outspeed it. And yeah, right, so I'm just gonna go for the Surf here since I'm timid and Scarf, which means that whenever I trick over a Choice Scarf, I'll still have my maximum speed, which I know the Modest set is pretty popular, but instead I like this set because you don't really fear anything when you trick something, because you're back at your regular speed. It's like you just, yeah, it's a win-win pretty much. So here he goes into a Skarmory to resist the surf of some kind, but he just dies off to a surf. 2 surfs actually, cause yeah. Alright, so let's see here. He goes back into his infinite expecting me to be Specs or Expert Belt, but I'm actually Scarf, like I said earlier, and he dies. So here, I'm gonna go back out into my Ferrothorn, and he shows the Dark Pulse, which is like, I've never seen a Dark Pulse on Rotom in my life, but guess it can work in certain situations. And here I'm just gonna set up my mid-game rocks, since don't really have anything better, and I'm gonna go for the Leech Seed, just pretty much as Death Water, but he actually U-turns. So I get up another Leech Seed on that Rotom Wash, which really is not appreciating all this damage it's taking. And he decides to go for the Hydro Pump, which actually did 121. So depending on min-max variation, I'll live this. But he actually decides to switch out. So here I'm gonna save my Ferrothorn as Death Water for later, and go out into my Rotom. Usually Metagrossies can't touch Rotom unless they're like banded, and then Zen Headbutt, which is probably the best thing to do, since I do not think they get Mold Breaker. But yeah, so as he decides what to do, he goes out into his Landorus. Here, I know that the U-turn's coming, but let's see. Yeah, Hydro Pump will still 2-hit KO his whole team, but he's actually not Scarf. So I'm starting to think that he actually didn't have a Scarfer on his team. But here I'm gonna stay in and go for the Hydro Pump, since I know it'll kill, since it's rain boosted stab, 120 power, and all that good stuff. And right there, that's pretty much the game, unless I miss a Hydro Pump, because he really can't do anything to me, and I just outspeed his whole team. So, yep, alright. That is a dead Landorus and a 6-0. So right now, my ranking is 33. Alright, so we're getting up there. I think I'll do another laddering match because I'm bored and whatnot. And so it is a 25 plus 25. Well, that's easy because 8, it's 50, 258. So if I win, I'll be up to 258. I'll be up there. So, let's get started. Looking at his team, he has a Salamence, which could be a big problem if it turns out to be the Scarf set. But if he is the Scarf set, it'll be easier to play around. So, yeah. The Dugtrio won't really do anything against my team, and Cloyster's only chance to set up is if I leave my Azumarill on Aqua Jet, since the rest of the team has special attacks, which will just really hurt the Cloyster. So I'm gonna lead off with my Latios, since he can pretty much really hurt all of the team. And here, actually no, I'll need the Choice Scarf for later in the game. So I'm going to keep the Choice Scarf, and I do manage to hit the Thunder outside of the rain, which is very unfortunate that I get the double para, but Hacks is Hacks, and can't really help against that. So here I don't want to take an Outrage, so I'm just going to go out into my Ferrothorn, and that was a critical hit, which still didn't do a lot. And I'm going to go for Stealth Rocks, just to get up some rocks, and then Leech Seed, just standard trolling and whatnot. Okay, so let's see here. I think he's gonna be choiced in some way, since he just looks choice to me. because no leftovers. He could be a Resto Chesto set, but I doubt that, and he just quits. So, yeah. And then, let's see. Alright, so now we're up to... Alright, another sand team. Alright. Okay, so I see he has the Breloom, and since Tech Loom isn't released, he's probably gonna be the sub-focus punch. So that means I cannot leave Politoed, Ferrothorn, or Azumarill to revenge anything, unless I pretty much have to. Since I think it does not, I don't think Aqua Jet Oko's Breloom, but I think I may be able to take one Seed Bomb with Azumarill. But for leads, I'll just go with the Rotom Wash lead, since I can Volt Turn out of anything, Volt Switch out of anything I don't like the matchup, or if I just predict a switch. Here I'll go for the Volt Switch, as he'll probably just stand and set up his rocks. And here I'll go into my Politoed to get up the weather, and I'll Toxic him. Since toxic damage is always good on a other opposing weather inducer, since they are really just beasts in general, and it's good to get a status on them. So here, I'm gonna go for the toxic again, and he makes a good play and goes out into his Breloom. And I'm going to leave my Politoed in as Sleep Fodder, and go out into my Tornadus. And here, I'm gonna go for the Hidden Power Ice, so that I don't risk the miss or anything. And he actually Okos, which tells me right there that he is adamant Breloom, because of how much that did. And so here I will go with the... Do I really need my Scarf? It does not look like he actually has a Scarfer, so I'm gonna predict a switch into Heatran, and now I have a Air Balloon because I tricked him. But here I'm gonna just go for the Surf, as he goes for the Hidden Power Ice. And since I know he's locked in on that, I can go safely into Politoed. And then I know he's gonna go out into his Tyranitar, so I can go safely into a Azumarill. And then let's see what health is Breloom's. Breloom. I'm gonna go for the Superpower, since he does not have any resist, except for Latias, which... that would have been risky if I went for the Ice Punch, but I did not. So there he's going to go for the Calm Mind, and I'm going to go right out into Ferrothorn. And here I'm going to take this opportunity to set up some rocks. And I'm going to protect on this turn as he goes for the Recover, which was a good play on his part. And so here, he has the HP Fire, but it really did not do anything at all, because Ferrothorn is just a monster. He's just a beast. So there, he's gonna go out into his Tyranitar, and he's probably gonna have Fire Blast, and so, yeah. I'm gonna go for the Hydro Pump, because now, since there was no target, if he decides to go out into Breloom, I can safely Volt Switch. Well, actually good. He went into Fortress, so I'm not really endangered by that, so I'm just gonna go out into Politoed as he goes for the Rapid Spin, and here I'm gonna make a double switch out into Rotom as he set up Spikes, but Spikes aren't really that relevant since the main two sweepers left will be Rotom and Latios. So I'm just gonna start dropping some Thunders on everything, and Fortress is dead. So here, I'm not gonna let him get up a safe substitute, and I'm just gonna go for more Thunders as he goes for the Seed Bomb. Finishes me off. So here, I'm in a tight situation. I'll go for the Draco Meteor, followed by a Rain Boosted Surf, which it actually does not kill, but he misses his Fire Blast, which is great for me since now I got the score tied up at Well, actually, I have a lead. Would you look at that? Oh, yeah, that's right. Alright, so Tyranitar, Breloom, and Scizor. See here, I'm gonna trick him so that he doesn't have leftovers anymore. Because now that's really important because he can't really do much to me anymore since, like, I pretty much just crippled him since I'll be able to. Crud. Well, this may end up backfiring if. My only chance right now is if my. Well, oh, he lived. Very nice, very nice. But he's probably going to be the Sword Stance variant, which means my Ferrothorn will probably go down to a Brick Break. I'm going to Leech Seed, but he actually goes for the Bug Bite, and it does kill. Which now I've lost, but that was still a great game. And so right here, he'll just finish me off with the Seed Bomb, and that will be the match. So I'm back down to my ranking of 1237, and I'll see you guys next time with another laddering match later. So peace.